Right.
Yeah, you're unmuted. You can say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? No one's speaking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they can hear you. So
okay, yes, I see.
So they have their microphones muted right now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right. So good morning, everyone. I'm going to wait a couple more seconds here to see if there's, yeah.
So
I'm gonna,
just field questions if people have them.
yeah. You might want to put a few questions together regarding pictures, because that's today's topic. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to showcase some of the things that I've been working on and the things that I wanted to share with you folks that I know is going to make a difference in the outcome of your client's experience with you. So I'll wait just a little bit longer. Drink my coffee. Cheers. I will. Okay. He's giving me on his way out the door. Oh, I'm freaked out. He left. Giving me coaching on what to say. It's my first time doing something like this. I've done nationwide training for Navy Federal Credit Union for the entire Western Division, and that was a lot of fun. We were live in all of the Navy Federal Credit Unions all over the West, from Colorado to California, so that was very exciting. And I think what we're going to talk about today is going to be equally that. Nice day today. Looking for the time. There it is, 8:02. Everyone have coffee? I see Kim. I see all of you guys. Jesus. Great job, Edie. Let's give it one more minute and I'm going to begin. Being early is on time. Being on time is late. I learned that years ago, and it has given me an incredible amount of peace when it comes to preparation. So, kind of nice. Nice little rule to live by. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. My name is Roxy Kellerman with Tycor Title, and today we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be in pictures, especially when it comes to marketing your business. Here are some of the things that I've learned over the last few years of being on social media. One of the things that I found really frightening for me was to expose and express myself without making others feel judged or unimportant by some of the things that I might say or do or share or showcase. And as I began this journey of starting to do things in pictures, I realized that a lot of that was based on an incredible amount of smaller thinking on my part, and also fear of being judged myself, because here I am talking about not doing that, yet that's something that I was doing on my own. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't really create that that energy in my professional business. And I also wanted to be able to have a lot of fun and have a medium that would really show who I was, because like real estate agents, there's thousands of you, and the same way as we have in our industry, there are thousands of us as well. And for the very first time, we now have a a product, a platform that we can take our professional business and showcase the golden thread between you and I. A good example would be recently I saw on one of our platforms, and yours as well, Facebook, that one of our clients, their pet had passed away. Now, had I been doing the traditional business, going from office to office and doing the things that most title reps do, I would never have known that information, and I could not impact her with my sorrow about her the loss of her pet, which for many people is like their family, their children. So I was able to address, send some flowers, and she was quite surprised and very grateful for the fact that someone even noticed that she was grieving as bad as she was grieving. So that's one reason why I watch this, and I respect it, because I know that there's an opportunity for people to see things that they would never have been able to see with clients. If you're clicking and you're asking people to come and join you on your social media platforms, and you're not addressing the things that are important in their personal lives, in their professional lives, and letting them know that you notice them, that right there is a huge takeaway. These are opportunities that we have that have never been available. Look, in a couple of months, I'm going to be 60 years old. So much fun to be 60. And the thing about age is that you get to see the things in business that you didn't see before that are working much, much better. To be able to find those threads and not have to spend the kind of money that we do in advertising, and know that right now, just right now, as of yesterday, there's 2 billion people on Facebook. I mean, that is an audience that I could not have been able to pay for. I would have had to look to I would have had to look for some loan to be able to put a program together and put it out so that hundreds of thousands of people can watch that. I don't have to do that anymore. I just know where the platforms are and how to be able to produce those ads so that they have a higher impact. Now, for those of you who don't know, on our team with Stacy and I have some unique responsibilities that we've developed as a team, as you guys are doing together here with the Steel team. One of it is to find your highest skill set and to really hone in on that and become in mastery around that, and then express that out loud so that all those that are attracted to that same skill set start raising their hands and saying, yeah, I know that they can do that, or I know that that person has that skill set. I would like to hire that person. Yours could be on negotiation skills. I understand that there's an attorney on board now, and the training that that person has had for many, many years is something that you can showcase as part of your real estate business. To be able to speak that voice into reality is priceless. The money is priceless. Now, Stacy and I garnered $177,492 last year on Facebook. That is the equivalent of a lot of people's paychecks, and we did that just on one platform. So I think there's a little bit of credibility with us when it comes to what to do, knowing that the audience is growing. And I took a few notes here so that I can make sure that you understand that the digital video consumption that's going on right now is growing exponentially in ways that we're not going to be able to control. A good example is my own personal behavior. I'm watching less and less television and watching more and more on my iPad, movies, and in addition, I must have watched about 30 different types of commercials before I came on for today's piece. And I wanted to just give you some great news. There are people who are pretty crappy at this. I mean, they're not actors, they're not professionals, they're not in the studio taking that skill set and trying to really be that Oscar-winning performance on video. They are people who are killing it by being consistently committed to contribution. Now, that's a little bit different than sales. You get up in front of a camera like we are today, and we are committed to the contribution. So that means no matter what you have to say, the end receiver is going to learn something about you and the services that you provide. And the same way as, you know, if for us, we just put out a video yesterday on uninsured deeds, which is a huge conversation for many, many real estate agents when they have to explain that to their client on why we have to go a different route because we have an uninsured deed. So there is a lot of education, and those are things that, of course, we all know that we want to share. And that here's the thing, every time that we do make a piece that is a contribution, you have to tell the end user what to do with it. We are putting a lot of video out there with no instruction. And here's what I'm saying, that if you put a video out, you want to make sure that you're hashtagging them their next behavior. Let them know, if you learned something today, share that gift with someone else. Let them learn that as well. Hashtag share. Hashtag, what? Oh my gosh, I put so many on there. Send forward, whatever you want to put together, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. You want to make sure that you give them an activity and a behavior and a direction, because remember, these are now your sales team, and you want to look at them when you're contributing to and teaching them. You want them to make sure that they can go ahead and send that forward to their entire database. Give them the direction to do that. So don't just make the video or don't make the educational piece alone. Tell them what to do with that product, and they will actually do it. That's the cool thing. People will do whatever they can to help you. The challenge is that we're not asking them for help, because help has a funny kind of word and assumption to it for many of us. It may show weakness. Why do you need help? Aren't you very successful? Why do you need help? Aren't you doing super swell? And the truth of the matter is that we all want people to help us, and they actually can connect with that, and you want to make sure that they have that information to do that. Displaying your product, let's say if we are working with a home or you're driving through your town. I was just talking to Chris prior to coming on board about now that I've been with Stacy working in Fallbrook I mean, this is just a unique town. The community is very different than where I have been working for 18 years on the coast. And I'm hoping that everyone here knows that there is nothing going on the coast that looks like what you guys are doing here internally in this town. So now for me, it's like a responsibility to showcase and share to the bigger picture of all those folks out there that are thinking, wow, look at the way these people communicate to the general public. If they list with me, they're probably going to be communicating about my home. You see, there's a perception. They're probably going to be communicating about my home like this all of the time. So I'm going to want to list with them. And you want to give them and showcase behaviors and patterns that you're doing in pictures every day. We should not need to wait until you have one house listed to be able to go ahead and share with them what the good news is. Remember, you're the CEO of your internal industry. Even though you work with the Kim Steele team, you really are creating a movement of people to start speaking on your behalf when you're not looking. And that is done by design. That is not done by the market. It's not done by the name of the company or the brokerage. It's done by design. There's a system of activities that you provide for your sales team, and that's all those folks that know you and care and trust you, and also all those folks who don't know, care, or trust you. It's a system that you put together so that there's some consistency, and they already know that they can go to their library if they want to know anything about real estate because of you. I think that's pretty powerful. Another thing that I found interesting that we tend not to do, which is part of the entrepreneurial spirit. You know, they say that there's a small amount of people that actually carry the real estate industry, and I want you to know that you folks are one of them. I have been fortunate, blessed, and really at privilege to be able to work with thousands of real estate agents throughout my career. And the one thing that I know is that you can see the it factor very early on when you see someone that goes into sales. And then you see others that are not salespeople that do incredibly well. And there's a reason for that I've now discovered, if you will. And that is that every single one of those has the same exact ingredient, a different way of delivering it. And like I said before, there are some pretty awful real estate agents that do very, very well, but they do very, very well awfully consistently. So they're consistently sending out a message, and at whatever it is that they're bringing in, they're making the business happen. For us, that's where the death trap happens. We start something on video, and then we don't continue growing that in the eyes of the consumers. So it's very sporadic and very, very inconsistent. That is the kiss of death for our business. I mean, let me tell you, real estate agents, they all sound pretty much the same, which is the reason why we have kind of like a bad rap. Everybody says just listed and just sold. They just say the same thing. They use acronyms to be able to describe properties. They say the same thing, 4BD, 1FLPC, 28 SQFT. The storytelling has been lost because it was never necessary when you were mailing out before. But now we are master storytellers, and doing it in pictures will increase your revenue. 97% of the consumer will watch a video before they read text. Now I think about that and I say to myself, I have to meet them at their space of consumption. If I want to continue to go from office to office, which by the way is always empty, and waste my time and feel like the busy work is making a difference, or I can get out of my own way and put together. Now here's the thing that sets most agents apart from the others. It's actually, I know you've heard of it, time blocking. People just like, don't talk to me about time blocking or making a business, business model. Don't ask me about those things. And I got to tell you, if we don't have time blocking for the projects and programs we want to deliver to our sales team, those are those people out there in your database and on your social media platforms. If we don't make time for them to consistently be receiving something, you cannot bring them on top of consciousness. You're actually dormant. If you don't have someone responding to you and saying thank you, that was super cool what you just shared, you're dormant in their minds. And what we can do, like Starbucks and McDonald's and all the big wigs, we don't need that kind of money anymore. Yet we're resisting the experience. We don't need that kind of money to be able to share that quality of information with them. And I'm thinking that maybe we should just start over and say, everything I want to do is in pictures. We have increased our video content on our team by 50% this quarter. Just had a meeting with my assistant who works with me. We've time blocked. There isn't, today I'm going to shoot a video, and I am going to be talking about a couple of classes that I'm going to be doing with Stacy in July. You want to make sure that there's that visual aspect, because we don't know how your audience is consuming information. We don't know if it's tactile or visual or auditory. We don't know how that person learns. You see, because you don't know that information, you have to hit all of those pieces all of the time. And you want to consistently be doing that. So if you feel that doing a video every couple of days is too much, then you're right, it's too much. For me, I'm going to tell you the results that have happened this last quarter. Stacy and I have reached an all-time high. Now, I was a top producer in title before I had Stacy. Stacy was a top producer in title before she had me. We were two separate human beings working our sphere of influence and working our business very, very differently. I was moving more towards social media. She is a very meat and potato kind of business professional. Knows title like a fine surgeon. She knows every single aspect of that. When we decided to responsibly join together, we were doing very, very well. We were still the top team, which really doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. What matters is the work. I just want to make sure that you guys know that. What matters is the work. But once we started defining after a year really where our highest skill set lied, we started to dive into the mastery level of those. And trust me, I see Chris, this guy, he had to put me up on this little thingamajig to be able to share with you, because I don't know much about technology. I believe in it though. I believe in being able to replicate and reproduce myself over and over and over again. We will be taking some of the older videos and revamping them brand spanking new. So you can recycle some great information and make it look different for the receiver. I mean, there's a lot of different ways where you can pull your money and make it stretch further and further and further. Now, we spend a lot of money on the professional side of videos, and I wanted to discuss a little bit more about the monetary commitment that we are making on our team, and I know that Chris will be able to speak a little bit further on that. But listen to this. When I was alone, I would spend about a year. I would spend about $10,000 to $15,000 on professional videos that I would make throughout the year. Would bring a video company, or I would go over to them. It would be work. It would be nothing that I can do on a spontaneous process. But that didn't stop me. I put them in my calendar, had them all dated for the entire year, and we went for those dates, and it just happened naturally. As we started getting busier and busier, we started to shoot some of them just guerrilla style with a Videolicious app or something like that, and started doing that. Then we graduated to shooting video and then having a company come in. And I know you've heard of this company. It's called Fiverr.com, which is Fiverr. Okay. I don't know. This is what I can say. We've decided to start using them more often, and we've got 2 or 3 people that are doing some of the work for us, and we're using them over and over and over again, because my marketing dollars have decreased to $5 a project versus the $3,000 a project that I was working on before, giving me a larger opportunity and financial rewards to be able to create more. We created 10 video pieces, and some of you have seen that already on our social media platforms, and they have increased our visibility. The perception is that we are workhorses doing things so out of the box that we are having people raise their hand that I've never met before. So this year our income will be much larger as far as what we made last year on Facebook, because all of the business was done on my personal page. None of them were done on our professional pages, which goes to show there is the evidence that I needed. It is what my heart says and what I say about my profession, but it's really that connection between me and people that I've never met. I mean, I think I know the Kardashians. I think I know them super swell. I know everything about them, but I really don't know them. But I have a perception about them. That is what's happening here with us as well. So we launched out 10 new ones. We're launching 10 new ones again. I'm shooting a couple today, guerrilla style. I'll send it over there. They'll make it look professional and beautiful, and we'll send those out, and we'll reuse them over and over and over again. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on is how you feel about videoing yourself. A lot of people tell me, especially in the classes, oh, I really don't like the way I look, the way I sound. I mean, look at me. I'm a Jersey girl. I have a really strong accent. And for some people, they might have some old, I always say some old issues that somebody might have beaten them up when they had a Jersey accent, who knows. But the most important thing is that I decided, and that's a decision that you will each individually have to make. I decided that who I am is who I am, and that's what I bring to the table. And I am only going to attract all those people who enjoy me and the contributions that I provide in their life. You have to make a decision that way as well. You have to be on fire about the fact that the recipient on the other end of this is on fire as well because of something that you contributed. You have to remove all assumptions and all judgment from the video world. Everything in pictures is actually, for our team, we will be doing more and more and more this year in pictures, and we will phase out a lot of the old traditional things because our audience has shifted and changed. The audience has left. They're not doing, and they're not on this. If 2 billion people are on Facebook right now, it is the evidence you will need that there's a movement of people going into the box. They are just going into their computers and on their cell phones, and they're looking at things. All we want to do is give them what they needed and provide that to them in both pictures as well as in text. Now, does anybody have any questions about some of the things? Thanks, Sadie. Thank you. Any questions about anything that I've said here today? Know-it-alls. You guys think you know it all.
Hey, Roxy.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
This is Juan.
Hi, Juan.
Quick question.
Wait. Juan Cardenas?
Yes.
Shut up. I can't believe it. Hi, Guapo.
Yeah. How's it going? So question, as far as content, I know that you've experimented with a lot of content and different types of content. Obviously, you find the content that you feel comfortable with. What do you recommend for people about being consistent in the content and in the time of posting? Like, you know, how often you do it? What do you recommend for that? Or what have you found out?
That's a great question. Yeah. No. That's a great question. As far as content, all content matters. It's not, listen, I have to first really demystify something, and that is that the kind of information that you're giving, that one piece, that's the one thing. Remember I said we have to experiment. Content is all things in real estate, and including in you. You can even say, I walked into the office one day and our broker was there, Chris. I'm just making this up. And I was telling him that I had a buyer that had a huge challenge with being able not only to get on board with having their, because, you know, the market is so different than it was a couple of years ago. You tell the story of what the coaching was like and how your team rose up to support your customer. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Be the roving reporter. Be the ambassador, the town crier. That's your content. If your content was as simple as we are going to have rain, and you know when it rains in California, it's big news. Talk about the content. Say, you know what? We have an open house and it's going to be water all over the place. We are ready. Come on board. We want to see you see this house. It's worth getting wet for. Content. Anything matters. From the simple pieces, it's really how do you want to express your story. You guys are only looking, I don't say any one particular person on this call. Anyone can create a movement of information. Can I just ask you to not overthink this? Can I just ask you to be the Google of your community? Think of everything of a lifestyle. I woke up this morning, shampooed my hair, put a little curl in because I wanted you to find me highly attractive today, and I used a variety of different products and things for me to get ready this morning. I went out and I had got my coffee at Starbucks. I said hi to my grandson, pet the dogs. It's life. Every day people are waking up in a specific life event that's going on with them. I want you to be able to address a variety of different things that are going on. So the content is not limited to just real estate. And that's the problem. We're waiting. And that's the reason why we might have an issue of having a dormant. I mean, listen, if people are not calling you and saying, holy moly, I cannot believe that you just sent that little piece regarding solar, the Heroes program, had no idea that the market was so hot that there's profits in my house. Use different language. Use consumer language. Start thinking of having someone in a conversation over a barbecue versus you saying, wow, the market is hot. If you want to get a market analysis of your home, I want you to know that that just goes right over my head, and I'm actually in the business. If you said, wow, the market is pretty hot, you're probably wondering, am I making a lot of money on my house? Are my profits super high? You want to know more? Give me a call and I'll tell you what the unique DNA of the pricing of your house looks like, because everyone and every house has a story. Those are the kinds of things that you want to be able to share going forward. How many times you said, Juan? 3 times a day is the magic number for me. I sometimes do more. I do a little bit of business. I do a little bit of family. I want people to know that I am sensitive, a human being. I have empathy, and that I care. I cannot communicate that enough. You have to be able to showcase the humanity in you and what you have in store for them when they meet with you. Super powerful. I mean, my gosh. Have you ever done business with somebody, even though they're not super skilled, but gosh, you love them, you like them, you will refer for them, you will work for them, and you will use their business? I have done that myself. So those are good questions. Anyone else? Did I answer that, Juan? Hi, Noreen.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Okay, great, great. And anything else, anybody? What about the Fiverr? I didn't see anybody go, holy moly, holy smokes. I mean, I feel like I'm buying new shoes because of the savings that I have now in marketing. Does that, has anybody even, okay, more on Fiverr. So once a year I go to conferences to try to fill my own cup so that I can figure out what I can come back here, recreate San Diego style. So I'll go to national conferences, and some of these national conferences have sponsorships, people that sponsor like Zillow or Fiverr or iMortgage, or who knows, a variety of different companies come out and they sort of support and help pay the bill for these conferences. Now, this particular guy, I'm not saying that he's the best guy, I'm just saying that that's one of the conferences that I go consistently. His name is Tom Ferry. Kept on talking about Fiverr, and it really does go over everyone's head, because I train physical in a training room in our office in Carlsbad, and it goes over everyone's head as well. And then I tried to do my first one. I needed a flyer, and I needed it really quickly, and I was able to get it the next day for $5. So I gave them all the information, sent it over to Fiverr.com, and there are thousands of people there that are ready to do that type of work. And these are kids that are in college or people that are in other countries. How do you get something like that done for $5? So I started using them for the flyer aspect of it. Then I got stuck on a video, and I ended up sending the video over to one of the folks, and they sent back a product that blew my mind. I looked at it and I went, my gosh, I mean, this is better than anything I've had done that I paid thousands of dollars here. So we sent out a couple of others, and now we've been sending them out consistently. So you guys can shoot a video right in your car, send it to Fiverr.com. They'll sexy it up, make it look good, put your logo on it, information. They get it back to you within a couple of days. So I think it's worth looking into. I mean, what is stopping you? Look, I think all of us will agree that we can have more ideas than you can shake a stick at. Marketing is like, it's like special. You want to be able to do something that attracts people to you, the way that you are, the way that you do your work. The challenge is that it is the laziest part of someone's business when it comes to being self-employed. There is a need to think that the market is going to drive your business, and I don't know. That's a swing I can't afford. I'm sole provider for my family, and when I get up in the morning, I have to have a very strong discipline around getting messages out to people every single day. Now, I do get an incredible amount of referrals, so many that I am feeling so strong and confident, and I'm living in an abundant life mindset that I can tell you that it's all working because of the shift to video. Adding that 50% this quarter gave us 100 more sales. Now I want you to sit with that. 100. We pulled out of this community 100 more sales. I don't know where they're coming from. They're dormant. Who knows where they were, but it's coming. So I'm making no more assumptions. I'm not saying that anyone has to do it the same exact way, but if people are talking about it, and when they get off the video, they can still be at the grocery line and hear something and say something to someone else because you are on top of consciousness, I think that that's pretty powerful. Gabrielle, that's a great question. Any special vendors? I can give you a list of the people that we're using right now. It has been trial and error. Some people have put out products that we just dumped. And because we're doing it so much, we're finding some really super talented people. I mean, the piece of our, for those of you who, and I can send it to Chris, and Chris can send it to you, where it just showcases our branding. And it shows Stacy and I on park benches, in telephone booths, on billboards, in clocks, everywhere people are walking, in restaurants. It's showcasing Stacy and I. Super cool. $5. Loved it. So I'll go ahead and send that to Chris, and Chris can send it forward to you guys. Absolutely, you're welcome, Gabriella. Sorry, Gabriel. Yeah, so that's not a secret. It's just nobody's going to take it on. It's too many ideas. That's why getting smaller in your model and doing it consistently over and over and over again till you can monetize it and see if it's working for you, and then moving on to the next product. That's what we decided to do, and we did it for 6 months, and we started to see a small little click and then a larger rise. And then we were getting calls from all over Riverside and San Diego. And the calls were from agents that were more on my Facebook, but were referring other brokers, agents to us. And this thing grew, and now we have 100 extra sales that are going to go in for our family. Any other questions? I mean, to me, this is like, oh my gosh, what a weight off my shoulders. When I think about it, this is the easiest, most effective way that the consumer is listening, and it's in pictures. That's it. That's all I had to share. Man, I look good on camera. Check it out.
It's just this one.
Yeah.
I tried other cameras and I don't look as good.
Yeah. You guys? Okay. Well, my pleasure. I thank you. I'm humbled every time that I get to speak into my passion. I don't know all the answers, but I can tell you that the thing that sets us apart from anyone else is that we won't stop until we have done the best job that we can. So I get to lie in bed at night, go to sleep, knowing that we kicked ass. So that's it. You're welcome, Edie. Thanks, everybody. Take care.